What's going on, people? I'm the SNES Geek and welcome to the SNES Geek Show. Yes, and after some due time I'm finally back and it's time to premiere Season 2. That's right, I didn't say so, but the previous SNES Geek episode that I did was the Season 1 finale. That's right, so we got a jam-packed with content for you this upcoming season. And to celebrate that it's a Season 2 premiere, I'm gonna be reviewing 4 games in one video. That's right, 4. And now that we're finally back at school, what is the greatest thing you can do after school after an exhausting day? That's right, for this video it's gonna be playing video games. So today I'm gonna be showing you 4 video games that's pretty casual that you can pick up and play and don't really have to push my thought into. Alright, so let's begin with number 4. And by the way, this is not gonna be a ranking, this will just be 4 games that I would recommend. Alright, let's begin! Okay, so the number 4 game on this list is going to be Ratchet & Clank Tools of Destruction. So Tools of Destruction was the first Ratchet & Clank game for new generation, aka the PlayStation 3. So at this time this game had a lot to prove. It was going to be the next big Ratchet & Clank game for HD gaming. How did it turn out? Well, pretty good actually. Most critics were pretty positive about this game. And it was actually I actually have a bit of a history with this game, as this was the first ever video game I ever bought for my PlayStation 3 on that same day. And I did not regret it. I completed the game in a few days and I haven't played it since. Alright, so this is your typical shoot 'em up where you shoot enemies, buy weapons and progress a story. Now what's great about this game is that it has a big emphasis on the story. Yeah, sure, the previous games did have the story, but it was more, it wasn't really as much of a focus as the previous games. You didn't have to play through the story to actually understand this game. You could just play this game without really getting into this, without being invested in the story, and that is a positive. However, someone who developed the game really knew how to balance the story with the gameplay to make it mix into a perfect experience. It has a lot of new weapons, great characters. Well, really on really only the main characters that you've seen previously, Captain Cork, Ratchet & Clank, as well as a few others, but not a huge cast of characters, which makes each and every character seem special, and that is a pretty good thing. So it has a lot of shooting, a lot of story, and great graphics for the time at least, and this game holds up even to this day. So if you want a casual third-person shooter, doesn't take itself too seriously, but still has a pretty great story, then Ratchet & Clank Tools of Destruction is the game for you. And so the second game on this list is gonna be Lollipop Chainsaw. So Lollipop Chainsaw is a hack and slash action game. And while there's plenty of these on the PlayStation 3, this one, from what I've seen, is the most unique. So you play as a cheerleader whose name is Juliet Starling, and you basically have to say the word from a zombie apocalypse. And with that you have a chainsaw with you as well as lollipops, which is something that she absolutely loves. Now what's interesting about this game is actually not just the gameplay, but Jessica Nigel, you know, the world's greatest cosplayer, has done tons of video game promotions and done them really well. That's right, her as a person has been implemented into this game as a main character, which is so cool, and this hasn't really been seen before by anything. I mean, mostly cosplayers, those professional cosplayers, has done video game promotions to promote a video game, but aren't exactly involved in this game. But the developers of this game, I can't remember their names, pretty much took her person, model, whatever you want to call it, and implement into this game. So you technically play as Jessica Nigel, and the story is pretty silly. It is a pretty silly game, but has a lot of attitude and a lot of, like, you can tell that developers really put time and effort into it. So you basically have a chainsaw. You can do moves. You slash zombies with your chainsaw. You upgrade items. You buy items. You upgrade your health and such. There isn't really too much to say about this game other than it's pretty cool. It has a lot of attitude. It has a lot of cool cutscenes. The voice acting is done really well, and it's one of those games, like this list suggests, that you don't really have to have much experience in gaming to understand it, to have fun with. I definitely recommend this game if you want to have a fun gaming session after school. Okay, so game number 3 on this list is going to be Skate 2, and this is probably the most casual game you can play on this list. You're basically a skater You take a skateboard, you skate around the city, and you're doing missions to earn more money and eventually to get to become popular. It's the perfect hangout game because you can just skate around the city and join the sites and basically have a good time. Or you can be a bit professional and actually do missions. Now the difficulty in these missions aren't really that great, but hey, it's a game that you can just chill out with and not actually having to worry too much about. And really, this is what the list is about. So you create the skater, and then you're going out to the streets and skate. Now there are a few things you do. You perform. Now there's something that this game does different from other skating games, is that you perform tricks with the right analog stick instead of with the buttons. Yeah, sure, you can do certain actions by using the buttons, the action buttons. But you're mostly just performing tricks with the analog stick. Now you can either play this game like crazy and just crash into people and being chased by the cops, or you can be a careful and good citizen by not doing any of that. So yeah, this is actually a game I would totally recommend if you aren't really that much if you aren't a serious gamer, but you still want to feel you're accomplishing something and not just skate around. So yeah, it's for both audiences, either hardcore gamers or as casual gamers like I am. I actually rather enjoy this game because there isn't too much to explore, but it's still there's lots of things to do. And you know, the city and the graphics, they aren't that amazing. It hasn't really aged that well, at least the graphics. But you know, the game has aged really well, and it's too bad that we don't really have any like major skating franchises these days. I wish they could come back. So that is the number 3 game on this list. And so the final game on this list is going to be Virtua Fighter 5. Now I have actually reviewed this game not too long ago, so I will say myself short. It has pretty good graphics for its time. It has an awesome feel. You truly feel like a fighter, and thankfully it has an arcade feel, which doesn't really forces you to be like at the top of your game like other fighting games. It's honestly like a pretty good fighter if you aren't really that much into fighting games, but you still want to play a fighting game. Ancestor was released in 2007, actually being one of the first launch titles for the European launch. It has a lot to live up to, and thankfully it does receive good critics across the board, and I would personally really recommend this game to anyone who wants to do a fighting game. It has a lot of features. Well, really only like 2 features that matter. And of course it's got a quest mode, arcade mode, and the free play mode. Now the quest mode is where you'll be doing most of the fighting, but arcade mode, well, you can do a lot there. But unfortunately all the characters are unlocked from the start, so it's not like you can like do some get great things from the arcade mode. No, the quest mode is where it's at, and thankfully you partake in tournaments, you partake in regular battles, so you can choose different arcades depending on your difficulty. And there's actually it's like an endless fighter, and I love that. There is actually, you really pretty much only keep fighting until you die, but until you're dying, you're not actually you're not stopping. And during a few battles, there's item battles, there's like coin battles, there's actually some variations of battles that's gonna appear as you play this game. So yeah, it's recommend. Yeah, so yeah, and after a long day at school, it's just fun to sit down and play a fighter that doesn't take itself too serious, but serious enough so you wanna keep playing. Alright, so that was all the games I have to offer in this video. Now, do you have your own games you want to play? Comment down below, like, favorite, as well as share this with a friend, and comment down below. Alright, so that was this video. I will see you in the next one. Bye!